Oh my god, it's actually happening. Account-wide essences are real. Almost. And corruption is guaranteed on gear that draws from horrific visions, while Ian has a hostess is trolling the internet. Man, today one's is a doozy. And that's why we posted it earlier than expected. Just like the account-wide essences. Eee.
Hello there, we are MarcelianOnline and we do class guides and WoW news on a weekly basis, and if you're into that, be sure to drop us a like and, maybe throw a comment.
Yeah, man, it really helps out massively. And now, on with the show. Haha, you won, I won, we all fucking won. Account-wide essences, almost. Now I say almost because they're not technically your account-wide system that we're probably used to. It's a little bit different because you still have to do shit in order to get them. But here's how it works. So from next week's reset, Mother will be able to sell you rank 3 essences as long as you already purchased those or obtained those rather on a different character. Now that's like the main gist of it. How do you purchase those? Well, with a brand new currency called Echoes of Ny'alotha. And I want to make a point here. Back in October, when we first looked on the 8.3 PTR, we made a video on, on Cooldown series, and we talked about the plentitude of currencies patch 8.3 will have. Well, they scrapped a lot of those, but back on the PTR, there was a lot of them. And one was an interesting one called Echoes of Oblivion, not Echoes of Ny'alotha. That didn't make it into the game, but I remember vividly it had this icon that had this bluish corrupted theme to it, and you could purchase gear from a vendor. That was all in the Chamber of Art PTR thingy, whatever. Now, what I'm curious on this thing is once the changes come rolling on next week's reset, and we will see this icon looking bluish or maybe exactly like that Echoes of Oblivion, like not going into too much conspiracy theories here, but it would feel like they planned this shit all along. Granted, Ian Hatzikosis did say in the past interview with Millennium, I think it was, that account-wide essences are off the table, and technically, once again, they're not account-wide essences, so he didn't lie. He made sure that whatever he stated on that interview, technically, as, we found out he is the truth. These are not 100% account-wide essences, but if you really think about it, so you have it on one character, probably your main, right? You have your main, which has unlocked all of the essences you would need. If you do that on whatever character you log into, you would be able to purchase those. So it's kind of like that. Now, there are a couple of questions. Of course, you're going to have all of the doomsayers on the forums, on the Wowhead article, on MMO Champion saying, oh, this is another mindless grind once again. And I'm not contradicting that. I just want to enjoy this moment because it feels like, it's a victory for all of the voices that pointed out to Blizzard to make this shit happen. I want to enjoy this moment, and I'm just raising the question and staying on the offside here and waiting to see how the information rolls out, because the questions are, first, how much would a rank 3 essence would cost? How much Echoes of Ny'alotha would that be, costing? And second, what is the drop rate for this currency, right? Well, they did say that you will get the Echoes of Ny'alotha, the brand new currency, from basically doing 8.3 content. How will the drop rate work? Like, if you do Mythic Zeros, you get this amount. If you do Mythic 15s, you get more amount. If you do like high-rated arenas, you get more amounts, heroic to Mythic rating and stuff like that. These are questions that haven't really been answered, and they did say that they'll have more information in the patch notes, as we get closer to the next reset day, which is all fine and dandy. So far, so good. One funny thing about all of this, as soon as the forum post got out, I looked at Ian Hatzikosis' Twitter, and he trolled the Make Account Essences Twitter channel. He basically said, your watch has ended. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's nice to see that there's humanity and humor in Ian Hatzikosis, because for the longest time, I thought he was basically a robot, the leading charge robot, the grand boss of them all, the stubbornness you cannot bend him. He was El Commendatore.
Commendatore. Buongiorno. Cocksuckers.
Anyways, it's good news, okay? It's really good news. I'm happy, I'm hyped as fuck. And I want to point out that I was one of those guys who were 100% convinced that this will never happen. Flame, on the other hand, was sure that they will have to put this eventually in place. So props to him. He was a believer, man. He was a believer. I'm really curious on what you think, right? So we can start a discussion in the comments. You let me know your piece right there. But for me, it's good news nonetheless. I'm still waiting for the information. Let me know what you think.
Did I call it, or did I call it? Account wide essences, baby. Dude, I have woken up to one of the coolest things this morning and seeing all of the social media platforms, all of the content creators getting up on this account wide essence stuff. Everybody's such in a good mood today, and we kind of needed it for a while. And we have talked about account wide essences for quite a few videos already, and we kept mentioning time and time again that we're gonna see this as soon as Shadowlands is going to be a lot closer to being released. We're probably gonna have closed beta pretty soon. And, you know, I mean, Blizzard wants us to give them feedback for Shadowlands beta, and that's kind of hard to do if people are still grinding shit in live servers, you know, to get their curve or cutting edge or PvP gladiator achievements and so on, right? If you're busy getting that, then and farming essences to get that, then you're probably not gonna test out Shadowlands. So this is a good sign that we're gonna have Shadowlands beta pretty soon. Like Marcelian said, probably a couple of weeks, you know, maybe a month at the most, I would expect. I hope it's not longer than that because, you know, we still need time to test all that stuff. We don't want to repeat, you know, BFA beta mistakes like we had before. But let's talk about account wide essences as well. Marcelian did mention, and, you know, if you've read the official post, it's not 100% account wide essences. Well, they are, but you still have to grind on one character to have them. Most people already have them. Now, I feel really bad for the new people coming in 8.3 that don't already have the rank 3 essences, because only rank 3 essences will be account wide, meaning that you can just get Memory of Lucid Dreams rank 3, and all of your alts can buy that from Mother with Echoes of ny'alotha. They didn't give a lot of specifics, but the way they formulated their news post was that if you get, let's say, you go into Nazjatar, you farm the rep, you get the rank 3, I don't know, Ever Rising Tide, all of the other essences will be purchasable at rank 3 by your alts. Now, I'm not sure if this applies to the main as well. That's a little bit ambiguous here, so we'll still have to see how this is implemented. If you actually look at the system, you kind of have the feeling like, oh, if I have unlocked Essence X rank 3, I have Essence X rank 3 on alts. But if you read into what they said, if you unlock Essence X, then all of the essences that you can buy from the vendor at rank 3 will be available. So we'll have to see. But what does that mean for your main? Does that apply to your main? I don't know. There's also the issue of Echoes of ny'alotha being enough. Grinding for those, would that, you know, take the place of grinding for the essences? Well, I personally am a little bit hopeful on that front, because when 8.3 was released, the rewards system for the Coalescent Visions was really kind of poor, right? You were barely getting any Coalescent Visions, especially from dailies, and they've upped that almost every week since 8.3 has released. So I'm kind of hopeful on this point, because let's say they release the initial iteration of Echoes of ny'alotha and it's not enough. You still have to like grind weeks and weeks, which I doubt. They can just buff the reward system, which, you know, they've did before, so that's not a problem, because they still, I mean, what's the point of, you know, replacing one grind with another? Although there is one benefit, even if the grind for Echoes of ny'alotha is going to be, you know, a little bit time consuming, or at least more time consuming than what we hope, we can at least grind them doing 8.3 content and not 8.2 content. I don't want to go back to Eternal Palace. I've raided the Eternal Palace so many times on so many alts. I don't want to go back there. And I definitely don't want to go back there for every alt. So if I can just log into my, I don't know, Warlock and just do Assault and get Condensed Life Force, I will be very happy. So there's still an upside to that. But ideally, I personally think whatever reward system they will decide on is going to be a lot better, because it needs to be timed out so that we don't have to grind instead of, you know, testing Shadowlands. So I'm really hopeful for that. All of these changes are a very big step in a good direction going into Shadowlands, and it definitely looks, we kind of knew about this already, that Blizzard is listening to the community. They're either very stubborn or they're hearing our voices way too late. Imagine all of these being implemented day one of the patch. When we said before, hey man, the patch is it's a little bit grindy, all right? Oh, the account wide essence is it's gonna be tricky for alts and new people coming in if you don't you know, make them more accessible. We said that, you know, remember? Not we as in Marcelian and I, but pretty much everybody in the WoW community. And it's just the same situation as the BFA beta all over again. We feedback them, hey, Azerite traits are kind of shitty, man, but they still went with it. Granted, they were working on the essence system by then to fix the issue, but this is a pure example as to, look, we kind of are playing this game, I wouldn't say 24/7, but you know what I mean. We're playing this game a lot. We can get a feel as to, dude, this is probably gonna take a lot of time. Please, you know, nerf the grind. It's kind of stupid. We kind of know what we're talking about a little bit, at least to an extent, you know. So it's really good to know that Blizzard is listening, but we just hope that they listen a little bit quicker. They don't adapt this stubborn attitude about, hey, this is what we want the game to be. Yeah, I know that that's what you want the game to be, but look at what that did to the game so far. This is a really good step in the right direction, and I really hope that it doesn't come down to what Marcelian usually says, is that they take one step forward and 5 steps back. That usually has been the trend for BFA, and we can just hope that this goes forward into a good direction into Shadowlands, and I cannot wait to see what 9.0 will be, what the systems will be, and Torghast. Alright, this is a really good news, guys. Tell me what you think. Hit us down in the comment section down below and let us know how happy you are and what alts you will be playing in 8.3.
But that's the reaction we had when we saw the fucking news, when we saw it's at the forum post, man. I was like, am I still dreaming? I just woke up. I got the Twitter notification from the Warcraft devs, and I was like, is this real?
I was reading like twice, like, wait, account wide essences, and it was like that once. I was like, oh my god, fine. Jesus, why so long, man? Because we did say this, you know, because we had the legendary vendor in Legion that came out after players like, dude, fucking grinding shit. And now we have this, and we called it. We kind of assumed it would be a little bit later, though, because
after that interview, I did say I had lost all hope for account wide essences, but you know, you still kept up yours, you know, making at some point.
It would have been really stupid for them not to do it.
I know, man, but judging by the stubbornness Ian has shown, but then again, let's put that all aside and look a little bit on another great shit.
You know what? Just as a side note, because you mentioned Ian, I guess, you know what I think just happened? He actually took the time to play 8.3 final. He needs essences. He wanted to play, and now it's like, oh shit, no, fuck it, patch it next reset.
I can imagine him. It's like, after playing, it's like, he's like Twitch online, like, you know how he does that Blizzard, like, so, team,
we're not building a healthy relationship.
What is healthy is that we will have guaranteed corruption on gear that drops from horrific visions.
Dude, that's... I mean, think about it. Horrific visions are a corrupted version of a future possible scenario of Stormwind and Orgrimmar, and you're doing them, and gear drops. Like, why wouldn't that gear be 100% corrupted? Now, is it 100% chance to also get an item? Because they don't drop.
No. So the items that drop, like, that's the chance for items to drop. I don't know if, like, with masks is pretty much guaranteed, right? So
I know that masks give extra eye level.
No, it's guaranteed, because if you didn't get any loot that week, you will have a guaranteed drop, and that guaranteed drop will have a guaranteed corruption on it.
Yeah.
What I wanted to say is, this is the first step of players being able to get this corruption guaranteed or targeted.
Targeted, yeah.
Yeah, it's you cannot target the actual corruption, but it's a way step forward to getting that shit.
It eliminates a couple of you know, die roll that we need to do.
Yeah, and plus the fact that horrific visions are, you know, are fun to play, are really cool.
Yeah, it's like the
more incentive to play. You'll see a lot of more players doing that shit. I think the grind for coalescing shit will raise up, because everybody will want to have as many.
Oh my god, we won't have rares in Doom anymore.
Here we go. We're gonna get back to that shit again.
Increase the spawn rate, guys. Increase the spawn rate. Server swap. It's still good, but come on, at this point, if Shadowlands is actually that close to being released, I really want to be done with BFA by the time that is. I really want to say Shadowlands.
Yeah, I think most of the players that will get invited will want to do that. It's a really maintainable, feeling, touchable sense in the air that everybody wants to feedback the shit out of it. Yeah.
Smell it.
Hey, I can smell some Patreons.
Thank you for the support, guys. You support us time and time again. We wake up in the morning and seeing that your guys are still in, it's like, oh my god, this is not a dream.
What a good day.
This is really cool. This is really cool. You guys keep us motivated, to not slack off, to always give you like quality content, quality shit. You guys keep coming and we keep delivering a lot of the stuff that you want to see and that you like to see, and we're happy for it. And if you, dear viewer, watching this are also interested in supporting us a little bit more, we have the Patreon link down below. There are a lot of goodies waiting for you there, plus merch. We had a really good upgrade in terms of our graphic design. We're gonna keep them coming, and some pretty cool t-shirts that this guy over here designs. So look them up, guys. Check them out. They're pretty cool.
You better, or I'll fuck you up.
Alright guys, thank you very much for watching our video.
I'm
Hope
joking.
you like it. And you know, catch our stream on twitch.tv/MarcelianOnline. We stream 5 days a week, and we have guides on Wednesdays and Sundays. And you bet your ass this Sunday is gonna be with another guide. I'll let you guess what it is down in the comment section down below.
Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.
Peace.
You are